Donald Trump's trip to China has been ruined before Donald Trump even stepped foot in China. You see Xi Jinping in China, they are downplaying Donald Trump's visit. They are treating the visit of a United States president like they don't even care.
A new message on the impact of Trump's presidency from a political expert. Comedian Chris Rock in his new special talks about bullies, and he makes the argument that while bullying is bad, if as a culture nobody knows how to take on a bully, then bullies can win.
I have a request to make, guys. Hit subscribe, like this video right now, subscribe to the channel, and join the membership, most importantly, because we need to keep independent journalism alive. We are just 29 members on this channel right now. We need at least 1,000. We are far from our goal. Please join the membership right now. It is just $9 a month. And this way you can support us and we can keep the great work alive. Subscribe to America Facticity, guys. Let's go back to the topic.
Chris Rock stepped onto one of the most iconic stages in American comedy history, Studio 8H at Rockefeller Plaza, the home of Saturday Night Live. In just 12 minutes of stand-up, he delivered one of the most unsparing, quotable, and devastating indictments of Donald Trump any major American comedian has offered in the modern era. This is the same Chris Rock who, at the height of his career, was named by Comedy Central as the 5th greatest stand-up comedian of all time. The same performer who has made the country laugh for more than 3 decades. The same comic whose 1996 HBO special Bring the Pain is studied in college courses on rhetoric and political commentary. On the SNL stage, Rock did something cable news has spent the last year too cautious to do. He delivered a cultural and political diagnosis of Trump in plain American language. Looking straight into the camera, he opened with words that would be quoted across cable news, political podcasts, and comedy shows nationwide. It's been a bad year for my people blacks. Then, without missing a beat, he followed with the line that reframed the entire presidency. He challenged the premise that Trump was uniquely undignified for the office, a premise the country had been arguing over for months. According to coverage from Rolling Stone, Rock dismantled that framing completely. He reminded the audience that the presidency has never been a moral purity test.
The front page of China's main newspaper, China Daily, talks about the Chinese-Tajikistan relationship. Sino-Tajik ties enter new phase. That's the main story. Xi Jinping meeting with the leader of Tajikistan, not Donald Trump. Although Donald Trump's visit does get a sidebar on the front page of China Daily, and they put it on the sidebar on purpose of the front page. But you may be saying, well, what about the Chinese websites? What about Xinhua? What about CCTV? Well, I'm glad you asked. The CCTV and Xinhua websites at the moment, they don't mention Donald Trump's visit at all. They don't mention the United States at all. And as this one account says, those who are familiar with China know very well what this means. Those who aren't will learn soon. His social media platform, which has the dystopian name Truth Social, which is just all lies and propaganda, and he started attacking Fox, he started attacking Ro Khanna, he lost his damn mind, and then Khanna responded. This is the way, folks. This is how it's done. Hat tip to Democratic Congress member Ro Khanna for fighting fire with the truth and extinguishing the fire of lies, the cauldron of lies, with facts. We wrote on the Midas Touch Network account, Trump lashing out at Fox News, accusing the network of undermining MAGA and the Republican Party, and claiming that MAGA Republicans hate Fox. He blames Fox for making it hard for Republicans to win elections. Donald Trump posted the following: "You could listen to Fox News all day long, absolutely devour it. But then when you hear sleazebags like Congressman Ro Khanna, a wolf in sheep's clothing, lie, 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 and lie again without any pushback or competent rebuttal from an anchor, in this case, Jackie Heinrich, the entire common sense dialogue that has been going on all day at Fox is completely obliterated. Why would Fox put scum like this on, or others, such as low-rated Bill Maher, who gains credibility by constant referral to him as though he were a liberal source of wisdom, or very low IQ Hakeem Jeffries, who considers the Supreme Court illegitimate and probably hates our country, no matter how fair and balanced the day's news at Fox may be. The end result is destroyed when professional liars, conmen, and liberal crooked politicians, this is why MAGA Republicans, who are actually close to 100% of the party, hate Fox, despite the wonderful contributions made by so many of their great anchors and commentators. Hard to win elections like this. Donald J.
He joked that the United States has had presidents who showed up to the inauguration with pregnant slaves, adding that he was just talking about Bill Clinton. Then he pushed further, reminding viewers they know the country they live in and the history behind it. In just a few sentences, Rock did what few political analysts have dared to do on national television. He named the historical pattern. He reminded Americans that figures like Andrew Jackson, Thomas Jefferson, and James Madison, men honored on currency and monuments, would fail any modern standard of personal conduct. That historical reality became a comedic weapon aimed directly at the media narrative portraying Trump as an unprecedented moral collapse. Rock's point was clear. The outrage over Trump's lack of dignity says as much.
In other words, Xi Jinping in China are teaching Donald Trump a lesson in who has the power, and one of the ways China projects power is in what it doesn't say. And while it gave others a hero's welcome, they are not giving that to Donald Trump. Well, who did they give a hero's welcome to recently? I'm glad you asked. Foreign Minister Araghchi of Iran, greeted like a hero in China. That was plastered on the front page of China's main newspapers and websites. And then you had photos like this coming out of this state visit. Iranian Foreign Minister Araghchi meeting with his counterpart Wang Yi in Beijing last week. And Araghchi explained how he held constructive talks in Beijing with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Both sides reaffirmed Iran's right to safeguard national sovereignty and national dignity. The Iranian side appreciates the 4-point proposal put forward by the Chinese side on upholding and promoting regional peace and stability. The Iranian side trusts the Chinese side and expects the Chinese side to continue playing a positive role in promoting peace and stopping war, and supports the establishment of a new post-war regional architecture that can coordinate development and security.
And nobody knew how to handle it.
Donald Trump has been throwing a tantrum all day and is lashing out at state regime media, which calls itself Fox. That's right, Trump is lashing out and attacking Fox because they had the audacity to allow on one of their programs, get this, a Democratic Congress member, Ro Khanna, appeared on a program on state regime media which calls itself Fox. They tried to press him using Trump and MAGA talking points, and Democratic Congress member Ro Khanna calmly, coolly, and confidently brought the receipts and explained what the American people are really feeling right now under this despicable Trump regime. And the Fox hosts were left stunned. They were silent. They had no way to rebut the truth bombs that Democratic Congressmember Ro Khanna was dropping on live TV. And Trump was watching this and he was ranting and raving like, why are you just letting him say the truth? And he was...
After puncturing the dignity debate, Rock shifted to policy and power. Drawing again from Rolling Stone's reporting, he turned to Trump's deportation plans and the role of MAGA megadonor Elon Musk. Rock joked that Trump and Musk would deport people using what he called space mech, a single word that captured a much darker prediction: the fusion of private technology with government force, the transformation of public power into private spectacle. the use of cutting-edge innovation to carry out morally indefensible acts against vulnerable people. According to coverage by TV Line, Rock also addressed Trump's 2024 election victory directly. Despite the felony convictions, indictments, and civil judgments, Rock said he was not shocked. Once again, he reminded the audience that American history has never required its presidents to be saints. The joke was sharp, but the analysis underneath it was serious.
Let me translate that code for you. The U.S., not part of that post-war architecture. China leading the way with Iran. Also, Wang Yi, China's foreign minister, said the following last week: the war of the United States and Israel against Iran is illegitimate. Establishing a complete ceasefire is an essential matter. So, we heard from China's foreign minister spokesperson in advance of Donald Trump's trip there, and China is setting the tone. China is saying, here's what we will be talking about, here's what we won't be talking about. And China saying, we don't care if you come with a team of 50 American CEOs. China is going to continue its path that's in the interest of China. And you bringing all of these CEOs, you trying to turn this into a circus, we are not going to be deterred. Folks, I think this trip is going to be an absolute disaster. I think it's shaping up to be that, as Donald Trump wants to make it into this grand spectacle. And China, the sleazebag, radical left congressman from the failed state of California, Ro Khanna, should not be allowed on Fox News unless you have an anchor who is capable of disputing his lies, one after another, and closing down his fake bullshit narrative. He is similar but worse than Hakeem Jeffries, only with a somewhat higher IQ. This morning he tried on behalf of the Democrats to take credit for the steel industry pouring back into the U.S., knowing full well that the dumbs virtually destroyed it, and I saved it through strong tariffs. Plus, our country was dead during the last administration, and now it's hotter than ever before. We can't allow the Democrats to take credit for this. If elected, they will fully destroy our thriving and now very respected nation. I will not let that happen. Donald J. Trump. Want to talk about the fact? Should we bring receipts? There was a manufacturing boom under former President Biden, and Donald Trump stopped that boom. Now we're in a jobs recession. Donald Trump's tariffs against the world have been disastrous for American workers, and Donald Trump bragging that he's brought in $18 to $21 trillion from foreign countries, or that he's going to sell gold cards, or he's going to paint the reflecting pool American flag blue, whatever the hell that means, and that's going to make us better. We all know what a two-bit bankrupt con man and idiot he is. Now, Democratic Congressmember Ro Khanna posted the following.
As summarized by IMDb, Rock closed the loop by addressing public fear about a returning Trump presidency. He reminded viewers that the country has survived bad presidents before. Then he tied everything together. He spoke again about it being a bad year for my people blacks, referencing Kamala Harris's election loss alongside the spectacle of Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul. Then came the line that drew the loudest reaction of the night. After mentioning Jake Paul, Rock asked, "Who's he gonna fight next?" Morgan Freeman. In that moment, the audience understood the layering. Jake Paul beating Mike Tyson. Trump beating Kamala Harris. The country defeating its own sense of dignity. One joke applied 3 ways, and Rock's track record made it land even harder. This was not a sudden discovery of Trump. Reporting from The Guardian shows Rock mocking Trump as early as 2023, including at the Kennedy Center event honoring Adam Sandler with the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, where he openly questioned whether the country would really arrest Trump. The SNL monologue was not an isolated moment. It was the latest chapter in a long-running pattern of Chris Rock telling the American public uncomfortable truths.
They're more interested in showing their meeting with Tajikistan than Donald Trump. That should tell you a lot. So here's what China's foreign minister spokesperson had to say if Donald Trump intends to bring up the issue of Taiwan. Play this clip.
During President Trump's visit to China, the two heads of state will have an in-depth exchange of views on major issues concerning China-US relations, as well as world peace and development. China's position of opposing US arms sales to the Taiwan region of China is consistent and clear.
Now, China's foreign ministry spokesperson also said, here's how we feel about the U.S. implementing sanctions on a unilateral basis. We don't support them, and we will retaliate. Play this clip.
China firmly opposes illegal unilateral sanctions that lack a basis in international law and are not authorized by the UN Security Council, and will firmly safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of its enterprises.
For Democrats depressed about Trump, Rock also has a theory. He's building on something the New York Times observed right when Obama was first inaugurated, that his popularity came partly from, quote, early opposition to the Iraq War and public disenchantment with the Bush era.
So here's the crazy thing. It might just work out. Trump might work out. Yeah, I said it. Trump might work out. I mean, think about it this way.
Who are you talking about, Donald? Mark Levin or Sean Hannity? Your bootlickers? Those weirdos? Is that who you're talking about? Democratic Congressmember Ro Khanna fired back right away at Donald Trump's post, and he goes, so this is Trump's second attack of the day on me. This is why I go on Fox. This is why I talk about an economic agenda to build steel, ship, and battery plants in hollowed out communities. This is why I talk to everyone, including Trump voters, without hurling insults. This is how Democrats will win and unite the country. And it should be noted that Democratic Congressmember Ro Khanna worked with Republican Thomas Massie in Kentucky to lead the way to release the Epstein files, which we know has been Donald Trump's worst nightmare, and Trump and his regime continue to cover up the child sex trafficking ring. Now, earlier in the day, Donald Trump posted this message. Ro Khanna was living rent-free and is living rent-free in Donald Trump's pathetic tiny mind. Donald Trump posted the following.